Hello and welcome to another Bob's Vlog, coming to you from balcony outside my office with Westminster Abbey in the background on a fairly overcast, not too cold Friday afternoon in Westminster. 4 items for you this week. The main event up here is very much Brexit and Labour's unsuccessful attempts to derail the government's agenda, but what I'm going to focus on are the 4 issues of, I think, significant importance for the island that we've been looking at this week. And I've had 4 meetings in particular that I wanted to mention. First, I met with the Minister of Transport, or the Secretary of State for Transport rather, and I also met with the senior bosses from South West Rail. We talked about the importance of a coordinated timetable for services linking the trains with the ferries, with rail and bus on the Isle of Wight. Sorry about the noise down there, by the way. We talked about the importance of a consultation process for Island Line that included as many interested parties as possible on the island, and I talked more broadly about how we could get faster services from London Waterloo down to Southampton and Portsmouth to get more tourists here, but also to enable islanders to travel on the mainland more quickly. So that's the first point. Second point, health. I met Minister of Health Philip Dunn, and I talked about the importance of keeping as much services on the island, health services, as possible, notwithstanding clearly the need to find the best and the most expert treatment for people who need healthcare. And I specifically said I want the government please to look at the island to see if we could be an example in terms of telemedicine, robotics, and ways of keeping or using modern technology to keep as many services on the island as possible. Thirdly, I met with the HCA, the Homes and Communities, is it Homes and Communities? It is, isn't it? Homes and Communities organisation, to talk about Kingston Marine Park. And I made absolutely clear the vital importance of keeping shipbuilding on the Isle of Wight. We have some shipbuilding firms, great little firms, up in East Cowes, and the likely developments there mean that we're going to have to find somewhere else for shipbuilding on the island. And Kingston Marine Park is emerging, or has emerged, as the key place. So we're just finalising the sale now by the HCA to the council, so we can make sure that site is going to be ready in the next 18 months to 2 years for shipbuilding to continue on the island and other related industries in the Kingston Marina Park area. There are other sites as well that the HCA have an interest in, and we discussed that as well, specifically Camp Hill. That's an issue for another time. Finally, I met with the Housing Minister, very good bloke, impressed with him. And I said that I wasn't happy about the nature of house building that's happened on the Isle of Wight so far, that I think we were building the wrong type of housing, that I was against greenfield development unless it was in very exceptional circumstances, and that we needed 2 types of housing, sensitively developed in already existing communities. And at one end, that is sheltered that is social housing, starter housing, shared equity housing, key worker housing. That sort of cluster of important types of housing that we need, specifically for young people, because we need to make sure that we keep young islanders, talented young islanders, on the island rather than going to the mainland. So we need to build housing for our young, for people in key worker roles. The second group was for people in sheltered accommodation, so for our old folk who are maybe thinking about moving out of their house or their bungalow but don't want to move into nursing homes because of the expense either to them or to the taxpayer, that's us, the people on the island. And we're going to try to build some sheltered housing to give them, or the council wants to, and I fully support this, so that we give those old folk who are getting a little bit frail the ability to live in sheltered housing, so they get more looked after than they would at home, but that they keep a lot more independence than they would if they're in a nursing home. So I said to the Housing Ministry, it's those 2 types of housing that I want to see being built on the island, and I don't want to see the sort of speculative housing estates that we've tended to see up to now, which are very often too expensive both for islanders, but specifically for young islanders. So those are the 4 things I've done this weekend. I'm about to jump on a train back to the island now. We've got a busy schedule tomorrow and an event in the evening, busy schedule on Saturday, and then a couple of events. We've got a Diwali event in Ryde, and then I think there's a Gay Pride event as well in Ryde as well, so I'll be going to those on Saturday. Hopefully getting my voice back, a little bit of rest I hope as well on Sunday, and then back here Sunday night or Monday morning. I think Monday morning because I've got meetings on the island on Monday morning. So in the meantime, have a great rest of the week, have a good weekend, and I'll be back with another Bob's Vlog next week. Thank you so much.